You've been doing the math in your head for years. Sticker price minus $7,500. That's the real number. That's what an EV actually costs once Washington chips in. You've pictured it standing at the dealership, watching a salesperson punch it into a calculator, the number on the screen dropping the second the credit gets applied. That number was never optional. It was the whole reason the affordable EV war made sense. Except that credit isn't standing at the dealership with you anymore. It's gone. It ended almost a year ago, quietly, and most of the industry story you've heard since then still assumes it's there. That changes the entire war. Stay with me. Because the promise of the affordable electric car was always supposed to be the final frontier, the moment EVs stopped being a gadget for early adopters and simply became cars. For years, the industry held its breath for one event, a true mass-market $25,000 EV that could change everything. At the center of that story sat two opposite philosophies. Tesla, the disruptor that dragged the entire industry into the electric age kicking and screaming. Toyota, the quiet manufacturing giant that spent decades perfecting quality and scale. This was supposed to be their head-to-head final battle. It's arrived, but not as anyone drew it up, and one of the two combatants appears to have quietly abandoned the field before a shot was fired. For years, the ghost in the machine was Tesla's so-called $25,000 car. Musk first teased it back in 2020 as the final step of Tesla's master plan. Start expensive, use the profits to go cheaper, then deliver the knockout blow, a car so affordable it would make gas engines pointless. Codenamed Project Redwood, the rumors were staggering, a target of 10,000 cars a week, a revolutionary unboxed manufacturing process built to make that price tag actually profitable, a production start whispered for late 2025. Competitors were bracing for impact. Then the story got messy. In April 2024, a Reuters report claimed the project was dead, canceled outright. Musk denied it publicly, calling the report a lie. Tesla's chief designer told people to stay tuned. But behind the scenes, the denial reportedly caused real confusion. Many inside the company already believed the focus had shifted. Months later, on an earnings call, Musk seemed to reverse course again, dismissing the idea of a traditional affordable car altogether and pointing instead toward the robotaxi, a driverless vehicle with no wheel and no pedals. The engineers once building a car for everyday people were quietly redirected toward a car for a network instead. So why would the company built on accelerating the shift to sustainable energy appear to walk away from the single car that could do that fastest? Because a genuinely profitable $25,000 EV is brutally hard to build. The margins are razor thin, and the unboxed manufacturing process behind it was brilliant but unproven, a real risk of another production nightmare. The more likely explanation is a strategic pivot. In Musk's view, the future isn't just electric, it's autonomous. And why build an ordinary car when you can build the network instead? So while a definitive cancellation was never officially confirmed, Tesla's public posture clearly shifted toward a defensive one. Take the existing lineup and simply make it a little cheaper, rather than launch a dedicated new weapon. It's the safer business decision. It is not the revolution that was promised. Into the vacuum that left behind, a once hesitant giant launched a quiet, overwhelming offensive. For most of the last decade, Toyota was the EV world's punching bag, the king of hybrids, hopelessly late to going fully electric. Its first real attempt, the BZ4X, landing with mediocre specs and an embarrassing recall out of the gate. But mistaking that for incompetence misreads Toyota entirely. This is a company that watches, learns, and moves with the crushing weight of its global manufacturing scale once it finally commits. While the industry was watching Tesla, Toyota was quietly planning a two-pronged assault on exactly the segment Tesla appeared to be vacating. The tip of the spear is the 2026 Toyota CHR electric SUV, discontinued in the US and now returning in early 2026 as a fully electric powerhouse, priced aggressively enough to land well under the $35,000 line. This isn't a stripped-down budget car. It runs a 74.7 kilowatt-hour battery for a projected 290 miles of range, comes standard with dual-motor all-wheel drive putting out a combined 338 horsepower, and is targeting a 0 to 60 time around 5 seconds. It gets a 14-inch infotainment screen and, crucially, a native NACS charge port, instantly solving the biggest headache for non-Tesla EV owners, along with 150-kilowatt DC fast charging that takes it from 10 to 80% in about half an hour. It doesn't fight alone. Its sibling, the newly overhauled and renamed 2026 BZ, positions itself as the more premium, practical option, starting in the mid to high 30,000s, offering a more powerful all-wheel drive variant, a faster 11-kilowatt onboard charger, dual wireless phone chargers standard, and the full Toyota SafetySense 3.0 suite with no subscription attached. The CHR brings the aggressive price and the style. The BZ brings the daily livability. Both lean on Toyota's dealer network and its reputation for simply not breaking. This sudden, ferocious fight for the sub-$40,000 EV market isn't happening in a vacuum, and here's where the ground has actually shifted since this story first started circulating. For a while, the assumption was that the federal government would keep chipping in $7,500 toward whatever EV you bought, indefinitely. That assumption is no longer true. The credit is gone. It was eliminated by federal legislation signed in the summer of 2025, and it stopped applying to any EV purchased after the end of September that year. There's no partial version of it left standing for new buyers in 2026. It was replaced with a much smaller auto loan interest deduction that doesn't come close to matching what buyers used to get at the point of sale, which means every single price point mentioned in this story, Toyota's sub-$35,000 CHR, the mid-$30,000 BZ, now has to work as the real number, the full number, with no government thumb on the scale to soften it. That single change puts even more pressure on the entire industry to build a genuinely cheap car instead of a subsidized one. That pressure is landing on a market already stretched thin. New car prices have spiraled toward an average transaction price near $50,000, pricing out the exact mass market buyer this next EV wave needs. The early adopters willing to pay $60,000 for the novelty have already bought their car. Even Tesla felt the slowdown, posting a sales dip in 2025 that sent a shockwave through the industry. Consumers are more price-sensitive now, not less. The one force still working in the industry's favor is falling battery costs. A decade ago, batteries were the single most expensive part of an EV. Now, thanks to massive factories, newer chemistries like LFP, and a maturing supply chain, battery pack prices have dropped sharply, some reports showing a fall of over 25% in a single recent year. That's the piece making a car like the CHR mathematically possible in the first place, credit or no credit. And this was never a two-horse race. Chevrolet is bringing back the Bolt, once America's best-selling non-Tesla EV, rebuilt on the old Bolt EUV body with GM's modern Ultium battery, targeting roughly $28,595 and 262 miles of range, with 150-kilowatt fast charging and a native NACS port. Nissan, the original mass-market EV pioneer with the Leaf, is pushing a major 2026 update around $31,000, adding both NACS and CCS charging. Hyundai's Kona Electric already sits around $34,000 as a genuine benchmark, and Kia's EV3, essentially a shrunken version of the striking EV9, is targeting roughly $35,000 with over 300 miles of range, already a hit in other markets. Subaru is expected to field its own version of the CHR platform. Rivian's R2 is coming in at a higher but still competitive $45,000, and Ford has an affordable electric pickup planned for 2027. Every major automaker now sees the same thing. The future isn't the luxury market, it's the driveway of an ordinary family. So the war for the $25,000 EV isn't the war anyone was promised, because its most anticipated weapon never officially fired, and the safety net everyone assumed would soften every other car's price tag has already been pulled away. That redraws the whole map. On one side, Tesla's top-down defense, protect the position it already built by trimming the price of what it already sells, leaning on brand power and the supercharger network, while a touchscreen-only interior and stubbornly high base prices become bigger liabilities in a market that's suddenly all about value. On the other, Toyota's bottom-up offensive, the same mass-production playbook that's dominated for half a century, now aimed squarely at the segment Tesla stepped back from, backed with scale, a trusted dealer network, and a brand that means reliability, working to shed its old reputation for being slow on tech. This isn't a fight for one car anymore. It's a fight for the next 100 million car buyers, and the questions that decide it aren't about 0 to 60 times. Is it affordable now that there's no rebate to fall back on? Is it reliable? Can I actually charge it without thinking about it? For years, Tesla had the best answer to nearly all of those. In 2026, for the first time, it's facing a dozen companies that think they have a better one in a market with no subsidy left to hide behind. So who do you think wins your driveway? The reborn Bolt, the refreshed Leaf, the Kia EV3, or Tesla's cheaper Model Y? Tell me in the comments. If you want the real math before you shop, subscribe to Dravexa.